Okay, Wildcats, today we're going to journal page 21, parallel and perpendicular lines. Two different lines are parallel to lines if and only if they have the same slope. Two different lines are perpendicular lines if and only if the product of their slope is -1. All right, go ahead and finish looking at your notes and let's take a look at the first example. All right, example 1, determine the slope of each line and select whether the lines are parallel. As long as it's solve for y in the form y equals mx plus b, the slope is a number in front of x. So the number in front of x is 3, so the slope is 3. If there's no x, then the equation would be y equals 0x minus 9, meaning the slope is 0. Okay, so the slope for c is m equals 3. And if it's x equals, then the slope is undefined. Okay, so the slope of a is 3, the slope of b is 0, the slope of c is 3, the slope of d is undefined. Which lines are parallel? A and C. Because they're both 3. All right, so we can look at the next example. All right, example 2, determine the slope of each line and identify which lines are parallel. So A, the slope is 1/2. B, the slope is 4. Here, C, we need to solve for y. So to do that, we're going to add 1x to both sides. So that becomes 0. You get 2y equals 1x plus 32. Divide everything by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. You get y equals 1/2 x plus 16. So the slope for C equals 1/2. And then D, again, we need to solve for y. So we're going to distribute the 4 first. So y minus 1 equals 4x plus 12. Add 1 to both sides. Get y equals 4x plus 13. So the slope for D is 4. So the slope of A is 1/2. The slope of B is 4. The slope of C is 1/2. The slope of D is 4. Therefore, line A and C are parallel to each other, and line B and D are parallel to each other. All right, let's take a look at the next example. All right, question 3. Show that ABCD is parallelogram. First, we need to find the slope of AB and CD. So to find the slope, we take 7 minus 3 divided by 5 minus -5. So that equals 4. When you subtract the negative, it becomes positive. 5 plus 5 is 10. 4/10 reduces to be 2/5. Now the slope of CD. So we're going to take 1 minus -3 divided by 5 minus -5. Well, when you subtract the negative, you add, so that becomes plus and plus. So 1 plus 3 is 4/10, which reduces to be 2/5. Okay, now if the lines are vertical, the slope is undefined. So the slope of AD and BC is undefined. Okay, so AB is parallel to segment CD because they have the same slope. AD is parallel to segment BC because they are both vertical. Therefore, ABCD is a parallelogram because both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Let's take a look at the next example. All right, identify which lines are perpendicular. Okay, to do that, we're going to find the slope. If it's x equals, the slope is undefined. If there's no x, the slope is 0. The slope here is -4. Here we need to solve for y to find the slope. So we have y plus 2 equals 1/4 x plus 1/4. We're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Get y equals 1/4 x plus 1/4 minus 2. Now, this needs to be reduced, but we don't care about it. We care about the number in front of x, so the slope is 1/4. Lines A and B are perpendicular to each other because they're opposites, undefined, and 0. This is a special case. C and D, let's multiply C and D. So that's -4 times 1/4. Well, that becomes -4 divided by 4, which is -1. And we know if we multiply the slopes and they get -1, we can say that the lines are parallel. Or, I'm sorry, perpendicular. So C and line D are perpendicular to each other. All right? Let's take a look at the next example. Show that ABC is a right triangle. If it's a right triangle, this angle right here is 90 degrees, meaning these two lines are perpendicular. So we need to find the slope. So we do 6 minus -6 divided by 4 minus -4. Well, when you subtract a negative, it becomes plus. So that's 12 divided by 8, which equals 3 halves. Okay. Now BC, we do 2 minus 6 divided by 10 minus 4, which gives us 4 divided by 6, which is negative. That's a -4, -2/3. Now, if these are perpendicular, when we multiply these together, we'll get -1. So 3 divided by 2 times -2 divided by 3 is -6 divided by 6, which is -1. AB is perpendicular to segment BC because the product of the slopes is -1. Therefore, ABC is a right triangle because it contains a right angle. All right, let's take a look at the next example. Select whether the given lines are parallel to the x-axis, perpendicular to the x-axis, parallel to the y-axis, or perpendicular to the y-axis, or none of the choices. X equals 7. The line is parallel to the y-axis and perpendicular to the x-axis. Now, here we need to multiply both sides by 2. So that becomes 2 divided by 2y equals 14. Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you're left with y equals 14. So when you're left with y equals, and no x is parallel to the x-axis and perpendicular to the y-axis. Here we need to solve for y. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. We get x minus 7 equals 6y. Divide everything by 6. So that becomes 1. You're left with y equals 1/6x minus 7/6. Well, you're not left with y equals x equals, so it's going to be none of the choices. And again, we have y equals parallel to the x-axis and perpendicular to the y-axis. All right, let's take a look at the next example. Okay, enter an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, for the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the given line. So to do this, we need to use point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1, where x1 is 4, y1 is 1. We want parallel, so we want same slope. Well, same slope is 2, so we're going to plug these numbers in. So we get y minus y1 is 1 equals slope is 2, x minus x1 is 4. So you get y minus 1 equals 2x minus 8. We're going to add 1 to both sides. You get y equals 2x minus 7. So your equation is y equals 2x minus 7. All right, going to finish up example 8. All right, example 9. Enter an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular to the given line. So again, we're going to use a point-slope form. x1 is 9, y1 is 0. We want perpendicular, so we take the slope, which is -4 divided by 1. We flip it and change it to positive, so it's 1/4. And we know that this is going to be perpendicular because -4 divided by 1 times 1/4 is -4 divided by 4, which is -1. So we know that these are perpendicular to each other. So our slope we're going to use is 1/4. So we plug these in. So we get y minus y1 is 0. M is 1/4. X minus x1, which is 9. So we get y equals 1/4 x minus 9 divided by 4. So our equation is y equals 1/4 x minus 9 divided by 4. All right, go and finish up example 9. All right, example 10. Enter an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, for the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the given line. Then give the axis the line is parallel to, okay? If it's y equals no x, we know that the slope is 0. So x1 is 3/4, y1 is 0, and our slope is 0. So we plug this in. Y minus y1 is 0 equals m is 0, x minus 3/4. Well, y minus 0 is y. 0 times anything is 0, so your equation is y equals 0. The line is the x-axis and therefore is not parallel to either axis. All right, last example. Enter an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, for the line that passes through the given point is parallel to the given line. Then give the axis that the line is parallel to. If it's x equals, the slope is undefined. You can't use point slope form, okay? We just know that the equation is the x number, so x equals 6 divided by 19. The line is parallel to the y-axis. All right, go and finish up the example and start working on your assignment. Have a wonderful Wildcat day.